Welcome back. Let's see what's going on with this cactus. I have not watered this cactus since before winter. Put it in hibernation, so to speak, so that once the spring came around, I would start to water it again, and it is now spring. And when I went to put it away, I noticed that it had damage. It was damaged, and I'm not sure if it's what kind of damage that is. Suspect that something could be going on in the roots, or maybe that's just what naturally happens to a cactus. I'm not sure what type of cactus this is. If I do find out, I will put it on the screen to let you know, but essentially I wanted to do a repot and take it out of the nursery soil in the nursery pot. I was removing it from the windowsill before winter started. I noticed that there were mealybugs, root mealybugs. Root mealybugs are not the same as above ground mealybugs. I'm going to do, because of the spikes, I'm going to use a piece of cardboard to remove it from the nursery pot so we can see what is actually going on with the roots. That way you don't get use the cardboard so to wrap around the spikes so that you don't get poked. And yeah, there are root mealybugs use their mouth parts to suck the sap out of the roots. And mealies have a longer life cycle, about 2 to 4 weeks, which is more than the thrips or aphids. So let's take this to the sink. I'm going to give you a close-up look. How do you know if you have root mealies? You can randomly check the nursery pot. So pull the root ball out of the nursery pot simply just by doing that, and you can take a look and see if there's any root mealies, and it's really bad. You may have to consider taking a cutting. In this case, because it's succulent, I will wash, get rid of all of the soil and see what's left of the roots. And if they still look okay, then I can consider just using putting in a new substrate. So I will give this and the catch pot a good clean with hot soapy water before I reuse it on another plant. Another alternative is you can give hot water baths, and that's 10 minutes soaking at about 120 degrees Fahrenheit or 49 degrees Celsius. And you can use a thermometer, and just like to monitor the temperature, you can just use a regular food thermometer. So let's take a look. Hey, let's go. Looks cottony. And the root ball is more difficult, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a cutting by using a serrated knife. There we go. And I will repot it in some soil mix, so hopefully that it can root again, and then I will just discard the rest of it. I would normally compost soil, but because it has root mealybugs, you do not want to put it in the compost, so it's going to go directly into the garbage. Let's take it to give it a wash. do is I'm going to let it callus. We will pot it up. So stay tuned for part 2. All right, a few days later, you can see it's calloused. Probably kept it longer than I should. Let's pot it up. I'm gonna pot it up in the mineral magic mix that I am reusing. I washed it and let it dry, and now I'm going to just reuse this to propagate the cactus that was dealing with the mealybugs. I'm going to use the same pot and catch pot, which I gave a good wash with warm soapy water. And I'm going to place something at the base because the holes are quite large. Or actually, let me use a different pot. Let me use this pot that has smaller holes so that the substrate won't fall through, because the mineral magic mix is smaller particles, so I don't want it to fall through the bottom of the pot. So I'm just going to place some of this in the bottom. So I'll take my cactus and place it in slowly. And I will hold it at the top. Place it in. Add a bit more. Quite the mess. So let me find a way that I can put this all in. Some of the spikes will be covered. I hope that's okay. Don't really have much experience with propagating a cactus. So let me clean up the rest of this mineral magic mix so that I can place that in the pot. And if I am doing this all wrong, please let me know your experience. Oh. That's not quite deep enough. Let me put it in here so then I can just pour it into this. That's a bit better, a bit more stable. in the pot and let's give it a good water. I will keep most of the water in the catch pot. That way it will help it to root, but I will definitely drain some of the water that is there. So this is how much water is in there, so let me drain some of this out. And this is what I'm going to keep back in the pot, catch pot. And voila! Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a lovely morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Peace.